but yeah, but like these issues, like that, there's a forum for all these things, and I know like when people look at politicians, they look at like, oh yeah, well we got to vote you in, and now that we voted you in, now you have to do something for me, and how come you're not fixing all my problems? But it's like that's not the way the process works. But everyone expects the process to work that way because it's a it's a simplistic way of
It started that way after the big, what is it, the New Deal?
mm, after World War II. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, all these social programs. All right, this is good. We can do all these
Well, no,
things.
I guess the Great Depression. No, that's what the New Deal was. It wasn't after World War II.
Okay, I'm thinking about the
It,
economic.
it was the job thing. So they were building the interstates and stuff like that.
Oh no, I thought the interstate was Eisenhower. That's World War II.
No,
After
no,
World
you're
War
right.
II, I think.
But
But
no,
I
the
don't
New
know.
Deal. The New Deal is Roosevelt.
Okay, okay.
That's post
Great Depression.
Great Depression.
Great Depression. Okay, okay. Yeah.
That's when the government started doing
Oh yeah,
out,
a
like
lot of different.
outreach or programs to like give aid to people.
Yeah, I think it was just after World War II. It was just
Because
that much
before it
more
was just like,
because
well, I'm gonna do what I need to do to survive, and if not, well, fuck you.
yeah, I think yeah the big thing after World War II was the GI Bill and then the international, because they had
And
the
then it just keeps growing, where now you have like the Section 8 housing, and then you have all
yeah,
these other things,
and those are so
where it
many.
incentivizes someone to not amount to anything in life.
Right, right. So it's just
Because if
like
I can live and exist and be in maybe not necessarily a good area, but my place is decent,
yeah,
and I
like
can live and I've got money for food, why
yeah.
do anything else?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It wouldn't like everyone kind of associates them like, oh yeah, like with lazy, and, but like you said, it's like, well, I got this stuff. Like,
It's about incentives and decentives.
yeah,
If
yeah,
that's a word.
de-incentivizing. Yeah,
De-incentivizing.
yeah.
It's
But
like why would you do what I do when you can make maybe $10,000 to $15,000 less and you're not even working?
yeah, yeah, it's true.
But
I
then
mean,
if you work and
if you
make
work even
like
a little bit,
that's what I
then
mean,
it's
like
they take away half of your benefit. Yeah, it's like you get the benefits equivalent to someone working
and that's
a
if you're
full
doing what
time.
I'm doing.
Yeah,
If you're not doing what I'm doing and doing something a little bit less, you're you you still don't get the aid.
yeah,
So you're
exactly.
still like, so it's like, okay, so do I get this aid or do I work a job and stress myself out?
And make less, or like
No, make the same.
all the well, it's like if you like, let's say like you get all the benefits, like let's say you get unemployment, you get Section 8, you have SNAP coming in, you have let's say you have
That's what I'm saying. Like,
some kids, you get money from like
it's coming out to like 30K.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
That's
so
my
like
point.
yeah, but like if
No
you
more,
if you make that
because the
much,
housing.
yeah, the
I
housing
mean,
situation,
you're looking at like 40. You're looking at $40,000 to $50,000.
yeah, and
Whereas
like,
if you get a job making 25K,
yeah.
you're not getting any of that. So you're making
Right.
less money to work.
Right. And then it's like, and depending on how many kids you have, then it's like, okay, well, that dictates how big of a household they're gonna try to provide you with. So then it's like, okay, so
You're looking at $2,500.
yeah, you're affording a place, you're staying in a place, and you have this stuff one, and you have donations for jackets, you have this place, you have a regular stream for like food that you have a kitchen that you
It
go
sounds nice, but it prevents and it gives nobody a reason to do anything with their life.
to. Right, because it's a nice safety net. But then if you make a decision like, okay, well, I want to be a productive member of society. Thank you for the safety net. I'm going to be a productive member of society. You go out there, and the only job you could get is like working fast food or like working as like a line chef or like line cook. I mean, and
Well,
it's like
that's why there's so many jobs available right now.
yeah,
And so many people are hurting for for more employees, and they're cutting their business hours because they
hmm
don't have the staffing.
yeah. And it's like it wouldn't make sense because like you said, like okay, once you start making a paycheck, it's like oh you're making this much now half of your benefits get slashed because you're working part time minimum wage at like this shitty ass job. And you're just like oh wait now I have less than I had before. and I'm working more, and I'm more stressed out, and I'm not spending time with my kids, and I can't watch the shows that I want. You know what? Instead, I'll just stay home all day. You know what? If I want to make some extra money, I'll just sling dope on the side, and I'll get tax free.
On mow people's yards.
Yeah, I'm my bad. I'll mow people's yards. You know, I'll sell a bottle of water. You know.
But I mean, that's what some people do with selling drugs.
Yeah.
They sell a little bit on the side to get a little extra spending money, and then they're collecting all of these welfare programs.
A year, bottom level. Like, yo, what? Why would I give that up to work full time at McDonald's? All right. Anyway, yeah, incentive program. Anyway, these things like this is why like the complexity of like how wild it is. Like, oh, I hate that phrase about like, oh, I don't know how complicated it is, and it's a good thing. Like, it pisses me off because there's so much.
Black people talking about what is it? Systematic oppression and stuff like that. It's like you're complaining it, but you don't have a problem collecting $50,000 in government benefits that's paid mostly by white tax dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at the numbers, it's like, yeah, well, if the majority of the country is, well, can't
you keep complaining how you don't have the income and you can't make any money, but yet, so you're literally just taking white dollars and then saying, oh, it's so terrible, white people don't do anything. It's like, you literally are, your existence is predicated off that tax dollars.
Yeah, and that's my big issue with critical race theory. Like, I don't, like, and that's a whole shit, but just kind of touch on it, just because...
like, you could still say things aren't good, or they need to improve, or here's why they're bad. Yeah. But when you make these blanket statements, it's like, you know, I know people that are getting, like, $2,700 a month in for the Section 8, for housing assistance.
Yeah.
You're telling me that a black single mom can get almost $3,000 in renting. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, renting subsidies.
Subsidies, and she's systematically oppressed
by these racist systems.
She can get a three-bedroom. She can get a 3-bedroom townhouse.
Yeah.
Almost rent-free and not pay anything, and not even have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So
how is that oppression?
That's my issue with it. Like, I
and she doesn't feel that way. She's like, she's grateful for what she can get.
Right. Yeah. It's like, wow.
But there are people who think that.
Yeah.
Who know that exists, or who know that exists and still says it's racist. Like,
right.
That can't be racist.
Right. That's what that oversimplification.
Unless you're telling me that they're creating a system that gets black people dependent on the government, but they don't say that.
Yeah, that's not the argument.
If that was the argument, I would start clapping. I'd be like, I'm all for this.
Yeah, this is deep thinking right here. Yeah.
Because people have said that before.
Yeah.
That welfare program is just the new slave state.
Yeah, I see. And that's kind of what, like,
but that's not their argument.
Yeah, and like that. It's either
their argument is that we need more programs. And
that's the problem. What I have with critical race theory, because it's based off of like a complex concept.
Of what they are doing isn't good, but of what we want to do is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Booker T. Washington was born into slavery.
Yeah, and rose out of slavery. And it's like, you know, that wasn't pleasant. But you know,
this is funny that they have such a different contrast, where one actually lives through what the other one is saying people should get for living through it.
Yeah, it's great. Like, cause the other one, Du Bois was focused on how other people look at black people, and that's important. And the system that looks at back in that day when it was oppressive, yo, this is what's messed up, which is a valid point. You know, it's not to say that Booker T. Washington was wrong though. It's just that they're focused on different things. They're fighting on the same side, but they disagreed on some stuff. But they instead of posing it as a...
Booker T wanted a fishing pole. And Du Bois just wanted fish.
Yeah, dangerous. Well, like, it's more so like I would say like, Booker T. Washington wanted a fishing pole, and Du Bois was demanding that
Booker T wanted a
we,
fishing pole, didn't even give a shit about knowing how to fish.
Yeah. No, like he cared about knowing how to fish. I'm trying to make this metaphor.
No, I mean because I know he wasn't big on like any type of government intervention. Just
Yeah, like just
let me have a pole.
I'll figure that shit out. Yeah. Yeah, Du Bois was like demanding that
he taught himself how to read, right?
Yeah. And Du Bois was like
that's incredible. How do you teach yourself how to read?
So Booker
Because
T
he was like a kid when he did this. He was like 12.
So that's crazy. But there's stories about other people way before Booker T.
Oh yeah,
who
I
taught
know.
themselves how to read.
They'd find like random posters, or I know the Bible was a big source of learning how to read.
Yeah, you need a dictionary to understand what some of these people are talking about. They're just like, you taught yourself how to read. What are you? And then like you look at their speeches, you like, or the stuff that they wrote down. You're just like, what are they saying? What? I don't understand that word. I don't understand that. Like every other word is just like, fuck, esoteric, metaphysical. All right, wait.
Metaphysical.
Yeah, like it was like Booker T was like, yo, give me that fishing pole, I'll figure that shit out. Du Bois was demanding that, hey, you're making us fish in areas that don't have a lot of fish. I demand that you put me in these other areas. So it's not like he had a not valid point, but it's just that they were arguing for different things. They don't have to be against each other.
Yeah.